Hi friends, welcome back to Good Vibes Over 55. I'm Nikki and I created this channel for women who are wanting to seek joy every day and to go from surviving to thriving in midlife. First, I want to start this video off by saying that I gained a few new followers last week, and I want to personally thank you for taking the time to watch the video and subscribe. It means the world to me. This is a bit of a passion project, and I am learning and growing every day. The two main reasons that I started the channel were as a creative outlet and also to connect with others. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. If you did watch last week's video, I talked about dealing with winter depression and also some of the situational things going on in my life that are making January a little more difficult than usual, which is already a hard month. And this last week was another really difficult week. But, you know, we find ways to take care of ourselves and the ones we love, even when things are difficult. And this week was no exception. I tried to be kind with myself, patient with myself, to acknowledge things that I could do better and give myself a little bit of grace. And I hope that you did that too. I thought that I might do a series each month toward the end of the month called Nikki's Notes, where I'll just talk about things over the last month that have brought me joy in small or big ways. Probably books I've read, things I watched on TV, things that I have experienced, and we'll see how that goes. Let me know if that is something that you would be interested in, and let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the things that I share this month. This month I'm not going to have a ton because, again, January and February are my hardest months of the year, and so I really have been leaning into resting as we are meant to do this time of year. But I do have a few things I want to share. As you know, I am an avid thrifter. It is something that I inherited from my mother. The love of the treasure hunt is how I like to refer to it. I'm also someone who grew up in a, well, I was going to say a poor family, and then I was going to correct myself, but I'll say a poor family. And, you know, most of my clothes were from the thrift store or a discount store, and that is still how I live my life. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that I've shared some of my thrifting finds with you, and I will continue to do so. So if you are a thrifter or you would like to be a thrifter, and you'd like just to see what I find and get some tips, stay tuned because that is coming. You probably saw this little poncho that I got last week, so that might look familiar. Today I am wearing a shirt that says "Good Things Are Coming" that I thrifted, and I really specifically wanted to wear it today because I think we're all probably feeling really heavy and sad right now. I know I'm 55. I'll be turning 56 in just a couple of weeks, and I've never lived in a time where I've experienced what's going on in our country right now, and it's heartbreaking. And I think it's very easy for us to feel helpless. But there are ways that we can improve the situation and take care of ourselves. And for me, that number one thing is having faith in God and faith in people to do the right thing. So that's when I saw this shirt at the thrift store. I had to get it because I do believe that good things are coming for us. So please don't lose faith. I also got this necklace. I, for years and years and years, have been a seeker of hearts in nature and in life. So if you're a friend of mine on social media, you'll see that I share a lot of hearts that I find on walks or if I'm at the store. And then my friends know that I'm a seeker of hearts, and they send pictures to me, which makes me feel so good that they think of me when they see that. And what I say when I see those is that love is all around, and you just have to look for it. And there's a couple of things I found at the thrift store. This piece of art I've actually had for a couple of months, and I bought it at the thrift store for $6. It literally just needed some cleaning up. And on the back of the art is information about the artist, who is a local artist. And this is the second piece of art that I have thrifted that has been from a local artist. And sadly, both of the ladies who created the art that I purchased have passed, but I find it fascinating to read about them and learn about them. And I'm always on the lookout for original art, especially by local artists. And this picture, I love trees, and I love, even in winter, the architecture of trees. And I just thought it was perfect for winter. I also want to share, I am a big reader. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and I try to read actual books, but it makes me sleepy and relaxes me, so I usually only do that at night before bed. But I got several books this week. This book, The Nest, I have seen this on a lot of people's lists about their top books, but it is about, sounds like, a dysfunctional family, and I come from a very dysfunctional family. Also sounds like there's some humor, so I am looking forward to reading The Nest. Have you read this? If so, let me know what you thought in the comments. I also got this book, Under the Tuscan Sun. The movie by the same name is tied to be my favorite movie of all time. I find it so inspiring. I can relate to Diane Lane's character in so many ways, and wouldn't it just be wonderful to have the financial ability and the freedom to go to another country or another state and have this beautiful fresh start? I love the connections that she makes in the movie, and I know that it is based on the book, which is written by Frances Mays, and her experience. So the movie is based on the book. It's not exactly like the book, but I'm excited to read the book. And I think there's recipes in here too, and so I'm looking very much forward to that. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jen Hatmaker. I find her funny and inspirational, and I haven't heard of this book, but I like her. And so I am looking forward to reading this one. of mess and moxie wrangling delight out of this wild and glorious life. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, that is my intent for myself and my intent for this channel, is it for us to find joy in our lives. And then my last find, and the one I was most excited about, is this book has been at the top of my list because everywhere you look, people are talking about this book. People I follow on YouTube, Instagram, TV, like I keep hearing about this book. And one of my favorite YouTubers is Susan Buchanan of, she's also known as Little Poet. She inspires me. She inspired me to start this channel. She inspires me to grow older with grace and joy. And so she has been talking about this book for like the last month. And if you don't follow her, first of all, go follow her. She's amazing. Second of all, she just talked about this book on her most recent video. So the book is called Theo of Golden. And first of all, I can't believe I found this at the thrift store. And guys, I paid 50 cents for this book that I don't, $22 new. This is the paperback, and I'm so very excited to read this book. So I will report back again, like the other books I mentioned. If you have read it, drop me a comment and let me know what you thought, what you took away from it, or if it's something that you want to read. I want to share a few of the books that I have read this month. I have read from one of my favorite authors for many years, Elizabeth Berg, The Art of Mending. And again, this is about a dysfunctional family, childhood trauma. The main characters are sisters who are around my age, so I could really relate to this book on many different levels. And if you've never read any of Elizabeth Berg, I highly recommend that you do, especially if you are in your 50s or older. I think you will relate to the women that she writes about. And to me, her writing is like you're looking in a window and just witnessing a real moment. It's so real, it's so relatable. She wrote a book called A Year of Pleasures. That is one of my absolute favorite books I've ever read. In fact, I've read it many times and listened to the audiobook many times. So if you are looking for something to add to your TBR list, anything by Elizabeth Berg, but A Year of Pleasures or Tapestry of Fortunes, those two are my two favorites. And this, The Art of Mending, was wonderful too. Highly recommend it. An author that I have recently discovered that I really like is Ellen Eskens. I read his book, Nothing More Dangerous, recently. It was the third book that I have read of his. And what really drew me to this one, it was not just the plot, but I live in the Midwest. I grew up in the Midwest, and this book is set in an area not very far from where I live now and not very far from where I grew up. So when he talks about certain towns, I mean, they're within a couple hours from me, and I thought that was really interesting. He actually grew up in this area, and I believe he lives in Minneapolis right now. But this book is about, it's a coming of age story that is set in the late 70s and also deals with friendship and race relations, and there's a bit of a mystery. So all of those things are things that I love in a book, and again, highly recommend this book. If you are a reader, obviously I recommend that you use your local library. If you don't have a library card, I think it is one of the best benefits that we have as a citizen. So go get your library card. If you have one, use it. Take advantage of it. Make sure that not only are you checking out hard copy books, but you are taking care of, you might have just heard my son sneeze in the next room, real life people. Make sure you're taking advantage of other things like the Libby app or the Hoopla app, depending on your library card, which gets you access to free audiobooks. That is what I use 99% of the time to listen to my audiobooks. I believe it is Hoopla that also gives you access to magazines. And one more thing that you should be taking advantage of with your library card is most libraries give you access to Canopy, which is movies and TV shows. And you can add it to your TV or your mobile device. To me, libraries are probably one of the most underappreciated, underutilized benefits that we have here in the United States. And I hope you're taking advantage of it. And if not, maybe add that to your 26 and 26 list to get a library card and start taking advantage of your library. As far as things I've watched, honestly, I've watched so much this month. I really like to just snuggle in and hibernate and watch TV. I watch a lot of things on BritBox and Acorn, and I really should have been better about tracking what my favorite things were to watch this last month. But there's two things in the top of my mind that I'll recommend. One is a movie called The Fair, F-A-R-E. It is one of the most unique movies I've ever seen, and I really, really enjoyed it. Something very different, very unique, something you probably wouldn't have heard of otherwise. And then a TV show starring Ethan Hawke called The Lowdown. I just think it is hilarious. I love his character in that show. It has been renewed for a second season. I believe it's on FX, and you can find it on Hulu. So there's another one that is kind of top of mind that I would recommend if you're looking for something to watch this winter. I wanted to end this video by reading something to you from Mary Oliver. She is one of my favorites, and I think she's probably one of your favorites too. If you've ever read her poem To Begin With, The Sweet Grass, there are several parts to it, and I want to read part 7 to you today. What I loved in the beginning, I think, was mostly myself. Never mind that I had to, since nobody had to. That was many years ago. Since then I have gone out from my confinements, though with difficulty. I mean the ones that thought to rule my heart. I cast them out, I put them in the mush pile. They will be nourishment somehow. Everything is nourishment, somehow or another. And I have become the child of the clouds and of hope. I have become a friend of the enemy, whoever that is. I have become older, and cherishing what I have learned, I have become younger. And what do I risk to tell you this, which is all that I know? Love yourself, then forget it, then love the world. So today I leave you with that message. Love yourself and love the world. Love your neighbor. Be kind to yourself. Let me know what else you got from that poem, or drop a line in the comments letting me know what you're reading that you're loving If you have read the books that I'm getting ready to read, give me your thoughts on those. And please, if you're not a subscriber, please like and subscribe. I think that next week I'm going to have you guys help me pick out my birthday outfit because my birthday's coming up. And I've thrifted some really cute pieces, and I can't quite decide what I want to wear on my birthday. So please come back and help me pick an outfit. I wish you all a joyous, warm, cozy week, and I hope to see you next week.